Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently up 5.09% to 39,752. Ethereum up 5.32% to 2940. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explained the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Thank you for being a part of our globally extended family. I very much appreciate you being here. Rule 359 is incredibly important. Be on the right side of the percentage. On days like today, you can see the exponential nature of crypto. When people get into markets, they want to make 100, 200, 500% returns. Actually, there can be a better way of doing things. I'll just explain. I just want to take the stress off you, and it's really important to live a life without stress, or at least as minimal as we can. If you put $1,000 in, and over the span of a week, you got a 10% return, and you kept on doing that every week, you would get 11,639% return. And that's a pretty good percentage return. In fact, it turns out to be 117.4x. To do this may sound really easy, but it's not. You need knowledge, you need rules, you need patience, you need a real wealth focus, and you need to Borsog. What is Borsog, you say? Ken, what are you talking about, Borsog? Borsog is buy on red, that's the Bor, sell on green, that's the SOG, that's rule 621. The knowledge that you need is you need to know how to mark up your charts and to read the external environment. Looking towards external markets is really, really important, and that's what crypto technical analysts do. We scientifically track investor attention, not only in the crypto space, but also across the markets. What crypto technical analysts do is they track investor attention, which is reality. That's the price. That's why we use the KS method to mark up the charts. This was specifically designed to upgrade hundreds and hundreds of years of charting analysis to actually reflect what exponential markets do. We just ignore future promises and we look at the price action, but we contextualize. Then we look into the crypto market, finding the market's focus, understanding that opportunities reset daily. We're seeing double-digit gains across the board. There are a lot of influencers out there that unfortunately are retail influencers, not institutional smart money influencers. And this is something that you need to bear in mind. You need to know who you're listening to. If somebody is emotional by nature, if they're doing screaming faces and what have you, that's good for YouTube videos, but the concept is they're probably coming from a retail perspective. What is a retail perspective? That's where people talk about hope and optimism and thrill and euphoria, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation. Smart money institutions don't even think like this. We're absolutely professional. We know what the market is doing. We've run the numbers. We've assessed probabilities. Retail is all about certainty, and unfortunately that's about 95% of people inside the market, not just crypto, but the stock market as well. There are 4 zones that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and have a meaningful life. This is what is called KS zone analysis. The first 2 zones relate to certainty. This is where people come into the market and they say, I must know the exact bottom, I must know the exact top. They want perfect timing. Unfortunately, they're also impatient. If they feel they've not actually hit the bottom, they'll exit the market. And that's such a sad thing to do, because you only need to make 10% per week to do really well. And crypto is the most volatile market on the planet. You can do it, but not always, and you must have the understanding and the rules and the knowledge of what to do and when. When we were talking about emotions before, that's all in zone 1 and zone 2. And of course, people, when things go against them, they get really angry and they get into conflict and blame. If they see other people doing well, they get jealous of that success. That's not where you want to be, because It obeys the lose money rules, and you don't want that. You want to make money, but also you want to keep it. So moving away from certainty into probability, getting away from the light switch, going all in and all out, and buying on green and selling on red, that's the wrong thing to do. And this is what happens when people want certainty. When they want certainty, they want to see the price come up, and then they say, oh, I'm certain it's going up because it's gone up for so long. I feel safe now. And they buy, generally quite close to the top. And that's what smart money knows they'll do. Smart money thinks completely differently. The smart money rules are all about probability and rules, about having knowledge and skill. It's hardcore learning. It's really amazing. I encounter many people who have put millions of dollars into the crypto market, but they will not invest in their knowledge. And that's really sad, because I already know where that money is going to go. It's going to go to smart money. My goal is to help everybody move to Zone 4. That's where we master fear. When you master fear, you're not emotional. When you master fear, you can Borsog correctly, buy on red, sell on green, and you have sleep-filled nights, not sleepless nights. It's really important for your health. And of course, you have happiness and meaning, and that's what life is all about. I'd just like to let you know that I've left helpful links in the description of this video, and you can always reach out and directly message me on Twitter at any stage. Let's have a look at some news, and what do we see from the Wall Street Journal? Powell's at it again. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said the central bank is not actively considering raising interest rates in 0.75 percentage point increments. That's 75 basis points. That is really good, because the market was really concerned about that. It thought the Fed would get out of control and basically tank the economy. With Jerome Powell saying this particular thing, that they're not going to do that, it's restored a lot of confidence into the markets. This is exactly the kind of psychological warfare I was talking about in yesterday's episode. In other news, Liechtenstein's largest private bank enables direct investments in Bitcoin. Good on you, LGT Bank. And you say, Ken, where is Liechtenstein? It's near Switzerland. It's this little country here. Look at that. It's so nice. And Hawaii to launch a task force focused on crypto regulations. And I, of course, can hear you say, Ken, where is Hawaii? Look at Hawaii. It's right in the middle of the ocean. Wow, not much around you, Hawaii. Oh, getting dizzy. California governor issues blockchain executive order building on the US president's regulatory efforts. California wants to keep its mantle as the global hub of innovation. So where is California? We can see it's the western US state, and it stretches from the Mexican border along the Pacific for nearly 900 miles. This is California. Hello everyone from California. But California is not alone. Senator Andrew Bragg from Australia backs a listing of local ETFs. So where is Australia? Let's have a look. We're going to zoom out from San Francisco and California, and we're going to fly all the way across to Australia. Welcome and g'day, mate. But meanwhile in France, Binance registers with France crypto regulator and advances European plans. And CZ is actually going to spend 100 million euros in France. But where is France? Okay, let's take a trip into France. Bonjour, all our friends in France. Ooh, we can see France is near Liechtenstein. And it's interesting to note that this actually follows on from Binance gaining licenses in Dubai and Bahrain. We know that crypto is a really tiny market, but it's at the start of its growth phase. A lot of people, when they look at crypto, they say, what is crypto? What does that do? Glad you asked. What crypto actually is, it's the ownership layer of the next generation of the internet. And you say, Ken, what are you talking about? What's the next generation of the internet? That's the internet of money. And it's where we can think. In Web 2.0, we could read and write data, information. Now in Web 3.0, we can do everything we did in Web 2, plus we can own the protocols, the network layer. And that's why everybody talks about decentralization. And we can see that the crypto industry is really tiny. It's just starting to take off in terms of the number of users. And don't forget, this is the next generation of the internet. Everybody will go to Web 3.0, and it will change the world just like the internet did. And crypto is literally at the start of its adoption cycle, and we have decades and decades to play out in that adoption. You are so super early. Well done. As crypto technical analysts, we use a lot of rules, and Rule 225 is very important. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. The stock market and the bond markets globally are incredibly large compared to the crypto market, and crypto can't escape these major markets. The underpinning mechanics of the economic system globally is still quite positive. We, of course, have always got bad news coming in, and we always have good news coming in, but it really depends what the media focuses on. That's why we must look at signal. Unequivocally, the inflation rate is too high across the world, but GDP growth is actually on the rise as well. For the business cycle, we're in mid-stage or expansion, and that's really positive. We're not in recession. You can see recession is a long way away at the moment. And we can see that 74% of companies that have reported in the earnings season, that's 888. Wow, what a good number. They've actually beaten their earnings. Yesterday, I was talking about the fact, because I've traded the VIX for many, many years, when we see a spike up like this, when you get a bit of a downturn, it's more likely that the momentum will actually follow down. And that's exactly what happened last night in the markets trading. But when you actually look at the spike up, I believe we're going to hit this resistance level. It's not going to go, I don't believe it's going to go straight up and hit it. Price is always moving in a wave. It will wave up and down. But I believe the next target is around 14,600. So just bear that in mind. Now, as we look at that, we can see that crypto's gravity has been affected by the stock market's gravity. It's also increasing. I also believe that the markets are inherently unhealthy in terms of the bond market, and that's a sentiment echoed by long-standing players in the market. This overextension in the bond market and the yields as well, I believe this is going to normalize. So what we could see is yields coming down, bond prices going up, but yet the Nasdaq and the major indices coming up as well as fear coming out of the market. This is quite perplexing, but I believe it's definitely on the cards. As we said a couple of days ago, gold came into a technical support level and it bounced, and it's still bouncing. Also, the US dollar currency index, the DXY, has hit a major level of resistance. I would believe that we're going to see a downplay in the DXY, but of course we have to always consider what we think and what the markets do are different. We can only go from probabilities. The probabilities favor a retracement, but that doesn't mean exactly right now that that's going to happen. The markets move incredibly slowly. And when we look at oil is starting to break out. It's starting to show positive momentum. So just keep your eye on that. Crypto technical analysts actually track investor attention, and we measure reality. We don't care about promises. We want to see what the charts tell us. And with the Fed actually doing the 50 basis point increase, we've actually seen the break-even inflation rate just tick up a little bit and the 5-year actually go flat or come down just a tad. And this is really good stuff, because that means that confidence is being restored into the market. Even though the Nasdaq went up quite sharply, it's not led to an increase in the inflation rate. What this basically tells us, the market is listening to the Fed, and that's probably why they're saying, okay, we don't have to do 75 basis points. I believe that we're going to see gold and silver turn around. The inverse of the DXY can give us some indication, some probability on where things may head, and it's been really good recently. We've seen gold and silver and other precious metals actually sell off. We're seeing the DXY get into that very heavy resistance level. It's too overstretched. Remember, price is always moving in a wave. With this in mind, the probabilities favor that gold and silver and the precious metals will start to recover as the dollar retraces, and doing this is actually really healthy. Rule 45 is a really important rule to understand. Your beloved alt, your gorgeous little crypto portfolio cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. Now, what does that mean? We know the stock market influences Bitcoin, so that's why we look at it. And we look at Bitcoin because your beloved alts are very much tied to Bitcoin's fate. Just have a look at what happens. Bitcoin comes up, the alts come up, and they come up more. This is really important to understand. When you're looking at Bitcoin's gravity, this is a major issue that you need to understand in the crypto market. Congratulations to all the Borsog people who entered their trades correctly. What we understand is that certainty is punished. So therefore, when there's a lot of fear and there's a lot of certainty, either laser eyes or everything going to zero, that's where we step in and do the opposite of what retail does. And it's not hard to see just how profitable that thinking is. I've been saying for a while now that we've got a lot of support between the 32,332 level and 37,164 level, and that's actually played out. What we've seen is the fear was very overextended. There was so much fear in the crypto market, and when there's a lot of fear, we actually lean into fear as smart money. We don't do what retail does because retail obeys laws that lose money. We obey completely different laws. And let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. We were saying yesterday that the longs have increased their exposure as the shorts were exiting the market. And yesterday's video, the price was coming down and just basically touched that C zone. Now we've seen price come into the A zone. This is how powerfully and exponentially crypto moves. Many people wouldn't have thought that it could go into the A zone, but that's exactly where it went. Just zooming in there, what we see, and I've not moved these around because I believe in being very transparent, what we've seen that we saw price down in this lower B area yesterday in yesterday's video, and look at it, it's come up to A. It's just fantastic to see this, but this is the exponential nature of crypto. And what have we seen technically? We put these levels in quite a while ago. We've seen the price came up and tested that 39,084 level, bounced around it and said, yeehaw, I'm going for it, and went to 39,759, where it's currently just oscillating around that support level. What we see, resistance becomes support. We could get a wave down to the 39,084 and a potential move up. I think the markets are going to do really well, but remember, there is no certainty and you must have your three-way plan at all times. That's that you must make in advance probabilistic choices. Don't get caught into a narrative. Everything is going up, everything is fine, or everything is going down, everything's going to tank. Don't have a position like that. Just say, if things go in my direction, I know what I'm going to do. And if they go against me, I know what I'm going to do as well. And that could mean that you're going to layer in. You're going to dollar cost average, or you may even exit. And for example, if they go sideways, you know what you're going to do as well. This is all about the application of Rule 734, Master Emotional Control. You cannot be a professional without emotional control, and crypto technical analysts are professionals. When we start adding support and resistance levels, we can see that we could come back to this 39,485 mark and find this particular support line that was resistance and then resume back up. It's possible that we could come down a little bit lower and just oscillate around and above this 39,084. I think there's a lot of positive momentum inside the market, and a lot of sell-off has occurred recently, so I believe there's some good positive momentum. Let's have a look into the liquidations. We had 171.14 million in liquidations across 52,801 positions, and when we look across the past 24 hours, about 78% of liquidations were short. A beloved ambassador said, "Friends don't let friends leverage trade," and that is very true. And when we look at the past 12 hours, about 76, nearly 77% of liquidations were short. What about the past 4 hours? Ay caramba! Nearly 93. What about the past hour? Ooh, it's gone down. This is what I'm always saying. Price is always moving in a wave. The shorts come to deheat a market and the longs come to heat it up. Let's have a look at how the liquidations are going. And it's pretty evident that the shorts are on the short side of the trade at the moment. With the CTKS methodology, we don't get into leverage trading. It's like a story that I told many episodes ago about the gambler. The gambler won all the horse races except for the last, and he lost everything. Don't leverage trade unless you want to suffer a similar fate. Unfortunately, gambling has really no place in the crypto market. It's far too volatile. A lot of people in the crypto market want to use leverage, and of course, people can do anything they want to. If you want to be profitable and you're just learning, please just learn the rules and buy at spot. Buying at spot means that you own the crypto, and if you enter in the wrong position, you can just wait it out. For example, things were really red recently, and you can see they're turning green. This is what I mean by waiting things out. When you're under leverage trade, your trade can get actually closed down. You can get liquidated. Let's make this one an interesting one. In the comments, do you think we're going to come up to A, which is anything above, say 40,200, all the way up to say 43,400? Or do you think we're going to stay in this B level, hovering around the 39,084 support? Or do you think we're actually going to come down to the C level? And let's just stop that one at 36,393. So do you feel it's coming up, which is A, staying sideways, which is probably pretty much B, or going down, which is C? I'd love to hear your comments. It's really good that you do this because you're actively participating in trying to predict the market. And we have just a beautiful community, very loving and very kind people, and they always want to say hi. Yesterday, I was talking about futures open interest looking quite good, and we've seen that spike up. That is actually what the probabilities told us. Let's have a look at some key crypto news. Polkadot enables NFT functionalities on your dot. And an Australian zoo launches a Wildlife Warriors NFT on Algorand. Tron is preparing for the release of its algorithmic stablecoin USDD. Or it could be USDD. I think saying USDD is really hard. And in other news, Valkyrie Digital Assets has launched a new trust that invests solely in AVAX. Well done. You can see really clearly here, these are the top 90 plus cryptos, and you can see Bitcoin. Look at this geological survey. When Bitcoin came up, what happened to the entire crypto market? It came up. When it goes down, look at how everything follows. This is why we must pay attention to Bitcoin's gravity. In the past 7 days, and this is why we need patience sometimes, Tron has come up 31.86%, RNDR up nearly 18%, FLM up 10%, Algo up 6%, ADA up nearly 6%, Litecoin just a little over 5%. And you can see some of these actual cryptos are starting to move up from the bottom. So what is this particular one? This is MTL. What about the past 20 for the past 2 weeks, 14 days? We can see Tron up nearly 33%, Doge down 3.84%, and the rest negative. That's why sometimes we need patience to see things turn around. But if you're dollar cost averaging in, that is the way to go. But of course, you always need knowledge. You just don't throw money like you would throw a dart at a dartboard. You need to know what you're doing. Let's have a look through the top cryptos. We can see Bitcoin, and it's just little. If you think about it, it's a little kick up, but you can see how the percentages increase. When Bitcoin goes up, the entire crypto market goes up. And we're going to cover quite a few cryptos here. You're going to see some really fantastic action. This blue line is Bitcoin's gravity. Note it came up. What did Ethereum do? It came up with it. That's structurally looking a lot better than Bitcoin. And what about Binance Coin? It also came up. What about XRP? It came up and did really well. These sharp sell-offs are what we look for as professionals. We love buying the falling knife. We buy it. We don't catch it. We actually buy it. Let's have a look at ADA. ADA's looking really great. What a big uptick. And this is what you need to be aware of. Sharp angles reflect. That's another rule. Solana coming up as well. Luna making its upward pressure point, and AVAX coming up really strongly. Always be aware the crypto can fall down dramatically and increase dramatically. What typically happens, retail buys on green and sells on red, buys on green and sells on red. It's really simple to see that you could get into the wrong phase cycle, and nobody talks about this. I don't know why they don't. We must buy on red and sell on green. Buy on red and sell on green. That's the way to do it. But one thing is really important when you look at these percentages. Let's just pop into AVAX and blow that up a little bit. We can see that we came down, AVAX prices came down 58.41%. But if you look from the top to there and up, it didn't recover all the way back up, but it actually rallied 86.53%. That's why I talk about the 10-5-10 rule. If you have $10 and it goes to $5, that's a 50% loss. But if it goes from 5 back to 10, that's a 100% gain. Understanding how exponential price moves and understanding percentages is really important to your portfolio's health. So what we saw next, down 34, up 39, down 28, up 58, down, what is this, 46.87%, and it's already up 20%. What happens if we recover that previous price? Just say we come up to this point, it goes up 88%. This is why getting on the right side of the percentage is more important than getting onto the right side of the trade. Many people say, I need to be on the right side of the trade. I would argue in crypto, you need to be on the right side of the percentage. Why is that? Because of exponential price movement. That's rule 359, be on the right side of the percentage. That's why we apply rule 621, Borsog. Now you might notice this. This is actually an NFT that I lovingly handcrafted for you. And the Borsog NFT link is on OpenSea. You can just click this link in the description of this video. That will take you to this page. I created this NFT because NFTs are the next level, literally the next level on things. Let's go into, which one can we pick? Yeah, Borsog one. Okay, Borsog one. And what we actually see here is Borsog, the price eagle, rule 621, buy on red, sell on green. And there's actually I talk during this particular NFT. It's really important to buy on red and to sell on green. I would urge everyone to get into the NFT space to understand how they work, but beware, scammers are everywhere. That's why I actually put the links in the description of this video. Just use the links to navigate through the NFTs. The way to protect yourself against scammers is to keep your eye on the details. You can see this is the wallet address, CryptoTradingKS.eth. Pay a lot of attention to how things are spelt. It's really important. And this is probably even better. The wallet actually ends in F43D. And what I've done in many cases, in all the cases, I put F43D into the actual NFT. You'll see that wallet address is your guarantee of safety. If it's come originally from me, it will come from this 7F43D address. You may have heard the bear actually doing his thing there. He's mastering fear. We push the bear away. You can see I've done a variety of NFTs, but you'll see that that particular copy protection is there, and it's there for you. I want to make sure that you know how this works. So when you look at these top cryptos, understand that a lot of people get in when the price is going up because they get certain it's going to go up. This is the time that we actually exit. And when it comes down, people are selling. They're on the wrong side of the percentage all the time. As a professional, and I treat you as a professional, we want to be buying on the way down because it's worth it. You saw that in AVAX. But believe me, not a lot of people know this. Looking through the next projects, we can see NEAR is going far, as one beloved community member said in the tweets yesterday. It's going up. It's really going for it. And this is what you're going to see in the crypto market all the time. Things can come down hard, but they also bounce hard. If you know when to enter, when to exit, you're going to do really well. And don't forget, it's not about picking bottoms. It's about participating. Let's have a look at Matic. Matic is also bouncing. Everything is following Bitcoin's gravity to greater and lesser degrees. Go Icon, it's coming up. It's just at the start. VRA is coming up also. Rose is coming up. Especially these long tail rejections, that's what we love to see. When things get chaotic in the market like this, we're actually stepping in as everybody is fleeing. We're like firefighters. We enter the burning building, and we can see Rune going up. We can see IOTA has also turned around. So what happened to these cryptos? Did the fundamentals change? Did the promises on these projects change? No. What happened to them? Why did the price change? Because Bitcoin's price changed. Please bear that in mind. It's really important. IOTEX also coming up. When we look at Theta, it's also coming up. And you know why? Because of Bitcoin. That's why we must do that pre-work. If we don't do the pre-work, we're going to lose money. And you can see this is not a gambling thing. We have to hold a lot of data in our head. And some of it will be conflicting, and we have to make sense of that. That's why we do deep dives in the masterclass. T-Fuel coming up as well. We can see Doge coming up, but not as spiky as we might expect, with Elon taking over Twitter. EGLD coming up as well. Phantom coming up. That big spike down creates enormous buying opportunities. CHR bouncing as well. Loopring coming up, and LRC held on very well, and you can see it in the pattern of the chart. And that's why I love to show you these things. Having a look at Atom, it bounced very nicely as well. Just from the masterclass, I'd like to share with you what Samuel wrote. TG38 is the end of that masterclass and just the beginning before the live videos, the living video, LV section. He said, Ken, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your knowledge. I've always been the retail investor who rides huge profit all the way back down to a loss, then tries to sell at break even. I now have the knowledge to take profits all the time. Well done, Samuel. Made my investment on the class back 8 times so far in real cashed out gains in about a week. you're awesome. Actually, Samuel, you're awesome, because what you did is you did very, very well when the markets were coming down. And that's what we always say. We can make money in any market. You just need to have the knowledge. Let's have a quick look across the metaverse. We can see Sand bouncing up. Axie doing a really good job of bouncing. Decentraland Mana also bouncing. Gala bouncing up. We believe for many, many reasons that the metaverse will attract a lot of attention. And you know, the crypto industry is just at the start of its adoption. We can see Engine Coin bouncing in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Ape retraced, but hit a level of support and is bouncing up. This is a technical level of support that it's actually hit. Let's have a look at Chili's. Chili bouncing up. SLP bouncing up as well. Let's look at some more community picks. We can see KDA. It's been under pressure, but it's bouncing with Bitcoin's gravity. CRV putting in a really nice bounce, very powerful. What about Waves? Bouncing really well. You can see this downplay back to a level of support, and there are even other levels below it. What about AR? AR is bouncing. What about ZIL? ZIL is going zilly. It's doing really, really well. It's coming up. Please beware. Do not have a fear of missing out. If you just get into a crypto project and you miss it, don't FOMO in, because you'll actually put the percentage on the wrong side of you. There's no problem with buying waves down, retracements, even if you're in an uptrend. Remember to actually activate this 10% per week concept, and it's just an idea like the 10-5-10 volatility fund. You need the knowledge, you need the rules, you must have patience. This is really critical. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, people have absolutely no patience. They want to buy at market. They'll do anything to enter, and that always puts them on the wrong side of the percentage. We also need to have a real wealth perspective. Why do we care about real wealth? What is real wealth, you say, Ken? What are you talking about? It's all about having self-mastery. Without self-mastery, wealth disappears. We also need to contextualize money and put it way down on the list of priorities. Inner and outer peace are far, far more important. If you do not have inner peace and outer peace, you will find that your trades and investments will be 10% of what they could be in terms of profitability. But also your life will be really, really stressful, and you want to get rid of stress. It basically can kill people. Stress is really, really bad. Having integrity and decency is also incredibly important. Doing the right thing when nobody is watching. Keeping people's confidence. If people say to you, don't tell anyone, that's integrity, and that's also decency. That's what we focus on in the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, which creates the foundations the crypto technical analysts rely on. We have integrity and decency. We believe in kindness, inner and outer peace. These things are not weak. A lot of people say, hang on a second, if I'm kind, the other person is going to outcompete me. That's Zone 1 and Zone 2 thinking. Zone 3 and Zone 4 are contribution thinking. We don't think about competition. We think about helping. And of course, when you have this professional mindset, when you align yourself with the energy of abundance and growth, then you Borsog. We can see Cello is coming up, and GMT, I'll just go from there. GMT has just recently listed on Binance. It's been going very, very well, but this looks a little bit archy. The Masterclass students will know what I mean. And of course, thank you for the recommendation. And ANC, we can see ANC just pinging up with Bitcoin's gravity. When Bitcoin recovers, I believe we're going to see some magnificent price action in the crypto market. Out of all of these cryptos that we've gone through, which one do you think is the most interesting for you? Please let me know in the comments. Also, what do you think about the concept of actually understanding how percentages move? Talking about this is really good. What is your percentage of the up and down percent? Because this can absolutely be a game changer for so many people. Our community in YouTube is very much like a paid-for group. We do high-quality comments and we don't tolerate any scammers. They're instantly removed by either myself or the moderators. So please feel free to reach out, and we're a very caring community as well. I'd just like to thank all the very kind and generous community members that have reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. Thanks so much, everyone. And just to read out, Anthony Latores. Hi Ken, thank you for sharing your background on trading and statistics every day. My dad, Raptorzell, shared your community with me, and I've been loving your take on real wealth and a positive excellence life trend. Thanks so much, Anthony. And I'd also like to thank Geordie and someone that has remained nameless, but very nice. Just as my way of saying thank you, I put a video together each month, just going through a rule or something of that nature, just trying to help people to get a bit of an edge inside the market. And this is just my way of saying thank you for buying me a coffee. The Buy Me a Coffee video will be coming out in the next couple of days. I've just been a little bit detained. And for these videos that I put together, I don't recycle videos. I always create something new, something that's never been seen before. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use, and also you can directly message me on Twitter, and there are also links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, and also our official NFT collection on OpenSea. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.